Hey Virgo, up next is your June 2020 monthly reading, and I wanted to do a bit of a recap to give you an idea of what to expect in your reading this month. Now, there is no mistaking, you ask any Virgo how strong their mind is. What if and sometimes it could be to our downfall, yeah, Virgo. Our mind and our thoughts can really get in the way to the point that it keeps us blocked when we're holding on to old ideas, old memories, or whatever the case may be, old fears. But there's an essence within you that knows that you can push that perception and the perception of yourself and your mind's ability to that next level. You feel it in yourself. You're very Mercurian driven. You've got a strong Mercury energy about you. You are critical thinkers, and that can be magic, and it can also be quite disharmonic too, yeah? There's an invitation this month to truly take your mind to the next level of its experience of itself. But first, there's going to be an investment from you that will see you and ask you to take a journey through your emotional body. And does that mean that you will then have just an upgraded mind or an upgraded emotional body? Well, maybe. The simple choice of journeying through the emotional body will actually help you activate many other areas too. Creativity, love, physical manifestation of a reality that you've been wanting for quite some time. How do we truly connect into this energy of manifestation and draw forth everything we have known on a mind level and perceived and seen for ourselves? Maybe that is the key. It is with honesty and authenticity that we can finally experience the freedom that comes from the energy of trust and higher knowing that everything has led us to where we're meant to be, and see ourselves in our journey with a whole new lens of gratitude. And really feel that on a heart level, Virgo. Look at this, it's an updated eye, an updated third eye. You actually have quite a lot of third eye upgrades this month. And it can offer something potent and beautiful when it comes to you and your journey, the way in which you perceive yourself, and those things there's a karmic balancing here this month. Find out more in your reading up next. Hello Virgo, we're going to be doing your June 2020 Practically Soulful reading. Now, if this is your first time to the channel, welcome. My name is Ali from Indigo Ascension. My channel is dedicated to those that identify as empaths, intuitives and sensitives, those who might be on the awakening path or journey, wanting to integrate that higher consciousness, wisdom, soul knowing, and perhaps how best to infuse that in very everyday realities that we all find ourselves in. Maybe that is perhaps how we embody, integrate, and achieve our greatest expression. You can find out a little bit more about the work that I do with Indigo Ascension at the links below to my website page and my Facebook address. On the channel you will see fortnightly readings and monthly readings. Now, I have been noticing with the frequencies that I'm tuning into, the hearts and minds out there that are perhaps seeking clarification and confirmation and guidance, because ultimately we are each our own wisest guide and counsel, Virgo. It's not about seeking outside validation. You know, research and inquiry is one thing, but to truly connect into the wisdom of soul, the wisdom of self, that's perhaps our greatest empowerment. So that's very much about the work that I do. In all of my readings, I'll include a bit of a cosmic recap, especially in the monthlies, all right? So June is a powerhouse of a month. We've got two eclipses, the first being on June the 5th in Sagittarius, a full moon lunar eclipse. Now, eclipses tell a 6-month story, so go back to early December last year and perhaps see what was started, what is eclipsing, what has been eclipsed, you know, the version and anything you may have started or ended at that time is, you know, it's timely now. You're feeling perhaps in very many ways a different person. The way in which your life has expanded, especially since we're talking about Sagittarius, okay? How have you emotionally expanded? How have you pushed away opportunities to emotionally expand too is relevant, because Sagittarius is ruled by Gemini. We've currently got 4 planets in retrograde, which I talk extensively about in the main readings. We're now entering our 5th retrograde planet is Mercury on June the 10th, all right? So 5 is the number of change, and in many ways, all of the zodiacs have been noticing that a lot of things about life has changed. Yes, I get it on a global level. Life looks very different to perhaps what it did back in December, yeah? But we are also essentially changed. Our personal circumstances, work circumstances, our connections and the way in which we connect have all changed and expanded in many ways too. We've got Jupiter in retrograde. Like I said earlier, it's about how we deal with opportunity, growth, manifestation, and perhaps how we hold ourselves back in fear from it. Pluto invites us into the depths to really get to our subconscious drives when it comes to what it is that we, you know, what we are driven by. And it is when our greater fears or beliefs come to our conscious awareness. These are the gifts of the retrogrades, and especially with Pluto retrograde, because we can see it then and we can address it. That's why I've always been doing X, Y, Z. That's why I've always in some way done things this way. You know, it really is unique to us all, but we get to take a deep dive into self and truly understand our greatest fears and perhaps where they were born, what rules we were taught to live by thanks to Saturn being in retrograde. You know, these are all about the structures and the ways in which society, family, religion, name your thing, has told us how we should be based on the way in which we were nurtured and grown. Venus is still in retrograde too. And now that's all about our love language and how we're connecting and what love means for us. There are many forms of love, Virgo, you know. But it is about connection and intimacy, and intimacy is very much a retrograde concept. It's about going to the depths and understanding what our love language is, what we need in the realms of love, and what entices us, what makes us afraid when it comes to truly opening up and connecting. Now, with all of that 4 planets in retrograde, there's been a connecting theme there. Yeah, you can see how we've allowed ourselves to feel expanded, retracted, how we've allowed ourselves to dive to the depths of our core beliefs and drives when it comes to love and growth, connection. Now, with Mercury coming into the mix, Mercury is very much rules communication. It's well known for communication misunderstandings, any sort of thing relating to travel, movement, yeah, anything that holds us back. We'll notice travel hiccups, and I know a lot of us aren't traveling at the moment, but Mercury, you know, as that Mercurian energy, it's about the thought body too, how our thoughts are either our friend or our enemy, and really, you know, there is such great potency in the power of the mind to truly shift and transform, and it's not until we get to the depths of things ourselves that we really get to discover that. And that's just another beautiful window that the retrogrades offer. But, you know, with Mercury coming into the mix, Mercury now wants that energy out. We've been very introspective going in, looking at these drives when it comes to beliefs, restrictions, love, all that sort of stuff, connection. That Mercury energy is wanting that energy out. So it is in many ways time to act. Many of the collective are going to be feeling that it's time to make a decision, time to make that next step, whatever the case may be, based on everything you've been mulling, thinking, deciding, confirming for yourself over the last month. There's a lot going on. And to top it all off, we are celebrating solstice and the change into the change of seasons, all right? So we're going to be experiencing Cancer season on the 21st, on solstice, which will also be a solar eclipse in Cancer, which fundamentally wraps up the last 2.5 year cycle we have all been on, thanks to the Cancer and Capricorn ecliptical cycle. Now, Cancer and Capricorn, being the mother and father of the zodiac, if you like, the divine feminine and masculine, have been taking us on a 2.5 year journey to truly understand those elements within self, how those elements have been modeled to us, what that essentially means, and how we bring 2 separate parts of self, of beliefs, the polarity, the light, whatever you want to call it, light and dark, ego and soul, mainstream and soul, how do we bring them and merge them together so that they can unite successfully, so that a third energy can be born, so that change and transformation happens, yeah? Take that however it resonates. We've definitely learned a lot about both of those respective energies and the roles they have played in our lives, how they've been shown and taught to us, whatever the case may be, how we've modelled them. But that eclipse season closes now, and we have learned all we truly can, perhaps, when it comes to the Cancer Capricorn axes. And now we're moving into Sagittarius and Gemini ecliptical cycle over the next 2.5 years, and that's very much about that Sagittarian energy wants to travel, wants to be anywhere other than here. It is ruled by Jupiter. It is expansion, okay? It is expansion of the highest order. It is abundance and manifestation and growth. It is about joy. Jupiter is an abundant energy, but it will also amplify and make abundant what is already in existence. So unless we've done our work, cleaned out the mark, truly understood the polarities within, as we've been gifted to do so in the last 2.5 years, we can also experience the next 2 years of an expansion of the confusion, the density, anything that we haven't truly integrated and allowed to come into balance within self, about any of the things that I've already mentioned. Now, take that however you wish. We all know in our own way how much work we have done on an internal level in here, and in here. Gemini, ruled by the lovers in the tarot, is very much about divine love, and you can romanticize that to the point that it perhaps distances ourselves to again seek approval from the outside, to again seek a confirmation that we are wanted, accepted, or whatever the case may be. But divine love, if we look at love as either conditional or unconditional, you know, that perhaps is the greatest achievement of our current level of consciousness within the collective. It's very easy to say that unconditional love is a beautiful thing, but how often do we see that genuinely practiced within our society, within our world, within our families, within our social groups, within ourselves? Perhaps the truest thing that we could experience when it comes to unconditional love is on its most beautiful way, is the connection between a parent and a child. You know, it would be easy enough to say that link, that relationship has the potential to experience unconditional love. Very rare still to experience unconditional love in other connections, yeah, where we're used to playing out our shadows and we're used to keeping ourselves guarded and not trusting, or whatever the case may be. But this is the gift over the next 2.5 years, is to truly expand, thanks to Sagittarius, to use that archer's reach, you know, to travel outside of concepts and perceptions and what we were taught and learned and showed, whatever the case may be. We're really invited to expand our concept and understanding of what divine love could be for us, and how we can perhaps integrate that here, in the here and now. You know, Gemini gives us an opportunity to really think and connect and be inquisitive about our world and communicate what we're learning, what we're understanding and integrating. When it comes to these things, it's going to be a beautiful 2.5 years, but it's also going to test us, test the collective in many ways. So we're eclipsing the last 2.5 years, and it's like classroom closed, next time up, next graduation up, okay? We're going to notice energies of freedom and restriction. We're going to notice energies of love and hate. And all of us in many ways. Look, you know, when it comes to ascension, you can perhaps say you've learned a lot of this stuff in the last 2 years. You might even just say you're sort of starting to awaken to deeper stuff now, or towards the end of last year. Take what resonates, identify where you are at in your own journey, and then really make the most of being able to integrate all this. You know, a nodal shift, a shift in the ecliptical cycle, is a changing of the guards. We've got 5 planets in retrograde. That change number, that change energy, we're going to experience change whether we're ready for it or not. And to embrace change is perhaps the most freeing feeling that we can dive right into this month. But it's been some beautiful energy, and just going back, like I said earlier, I am noticing that there's a frequency upgrade with every reading that I'm doing. So your storyline is connecting and flowing each reading that I do for each of the zodiacs. Okay, so go back and take a look at May. Go back and take a look at April and March. Of course, there's a graduation happening within all of the zodiacs that I'm connecting into when I do these readings. So June is another chapter, and I am noticing a lot of the zodiacs are having some amazing, beautiful, expansive readings. Like, it's just, you know, it's like wisdom integrated. I've learned that lesson. I no longer have that karmic tie. I no longer have that dense energy that sort of floats around me because I'm holding on to fear and things within the past, whatever the case may be, Virgo. We're all growing. Trust that growth and abundance is yours. Let's see what wants to come up. Gratitude. Above you, below you is regret. In the past is acceptance. In the future is honesty. This is a powerhouse of psychic activity and heart expansion, I'm going to say. Because right through the middle, through acceptance, trust, and honesty, you are going to perceive yourself, your path, your past, your potential in a whole new way. This is very feminine energy is what I'm picking up on in many ways. And when I say that, it's because with the sacred geometry in these cards, it's about 50-50. You'll see that they're either square or they're circle. And I call this feminine energy, and that's the masculine energy, okay? The masculine energy is about acting. Feminine energy is about going in and intuiting and nurturing. So creative concepts, ideas. It's a wait and see period. It's a holding space, if you like. And the masculine energy is about action. We need to act on these soul themes that are coming up, okay? But I do, like, straight through the middle, that stood out the first to me. This is about you really upgrading that third eye chakra. Now, take that however you wish. If you thought your intuition was somewhat handy because it was mother's instinct, it was gut knowing, or it was your psychic awareness that's been around for a long time, expect an upgrade, okay? And perhaps the greatest upgrade we can receive when it comes to the third eye chakra, Virgo, is really about shifting our deeper held perceptions. Like I said, with Mercury coming into the mix, you know, this Geminian energy that is ruled by Mercury is very much thought. It is about the thought body. How has the thought body helped you or hindered you? How have you allowed? And you guys are critical thinkers to the point that your thinking can be absolutely critical to your wellness or otherwise. You know, take that however you wish, to the point you might even completely disconnect, you know, from the emotional body. You're quite focused on your thought. You guys are great thinkers. Now you can not only think back towards the past, but you can think every potential outcome. So I'm going to make a decision that feels safe because that can happen, and if it goes that way, it might go that way. You've already lost me, Virgo, but I love your tenacity. I love your organization skills, and it comes in handy for many things. But when it comes to the heart, when it comes to our creative energy, look at this, heart chakra energy, sacral chakra energy. When it comes to our creative expression of self, our divine fire, our sensuality, to be truly healthily grounded, okay? It's about not having regrets, So we cannot make every decision, Virgo, so that we will never experience regret. Regret is a natural cycle and part of the learning and integration of wisdom. Sometimes we truly just have to open our heart and be grateful for the here and now and see things. Look at this. This came up in another reading. Look at it. It's an eye. This is your third eye upgrade. That you can see that everything that you've ever been through has truly happened and been of purpose to get you to where you are now. This is third eye upgrade. You're upgrading this to the 100th degree. Like, this is a deep sense of gratitude that everything has led you to here. And there's a refresh and a reset when it comes to this energy of regret. I'm connecting into a lot of Virgos perhaps that are energetically tied to their past in some way, wishing shoulda, coulda, woulda, whatever the case may be. It has tainted this base chakra energy that you've got, Virgo, to the point that it has tainted your sacral chakra energy too. So apply that however it resonates. You know, when it comes to our creativity, our sensuality, our creative expression of self, you do not have to be an artist to experience creative expression. It can be just that simple and organic flow that happens within us, and that states, this is who I am, this is what I want, with confidence. Yeah, but a sacral chakra that is completely enlivened and well nourished it is sensual and graceful and exciting and passionate, and it's just this beautiful creative flow that, you know, when you watch people perform, you know, when you just watch artists, or you connect into the energy of artists, okay, whether they're dancing, singing, or when there's some form of creative expression that does not require words, that is just presence. There's an energy there that it draws people in. It's this wands energy, this fire energy that you can tell their energy is healthy and exciting and confident, and we just want to know what happens next because it's creative and it inspires that divine spark in us too. That's what a healthy sacral chakra is. It's that freedom to just, you know, metaphorically, or whatever the case may be, just to be naked and free, and to really feel like all masks are down, that I'm comfortable in the skin that I'm in and where I'm at, and I'm truly grateful for everything that has brought me to here. I'm grateful for every aspect of my life. This is a high vibrational energy. I've just noticed, speaking of the sacral chakra, look at this. What does that look like? Sorry, now I'm gonna... It's like the birth canal. Sorry, guys. I don't know why these things just... I have had these cards for a while. I've done so many readings. Do you think I've ever looked at this before and went, look at it, it's the birth canal card. But what the sacral chakra rules our reproductive system. I am just an emotional roller coaster. The energy is amazing today. The readings have been so beautiful. I really connected into the Scorpio one. Now you guys are cracking me up. The sacral chakra obviously rules sexuality, sensuality, eroticism, the reproductive system, our genitals, whatever the case, okay? See, this is like a birth canal. But what I'm getting at, I can't. It's a rebirth, Virgo. It's a rebirth. It is a rebirth of the way in which you perceive yourself. Maybe you're giving birth this month, okay? So I'm just going to put that out there. Oh, Ali, your reading was on point. It's literally happening right while I was in the labour room on my 3rd hour, just watching videos. Let me know if that's you. This looks like a rebirth energy to me. And it's a rebirth of your sensuality, sexuality, creative energy, your divine fire. It is a rebirth of your heart chakra energy, and more potently and most importantly still, this is a rebirth of your 3rd eye energy, Virgo. Okay? How do we do that? How do we embrace true gratitude and truly eclipse all regrets? Well, we work with the eclipse energy, okay? Sagittarius, full moon, lunar eclipse on the 5th, solar eclipse in Cancer on the 21st. We're eclipsing anything that gets in the way of this potential, alrighty? We're eclipsing everything that used to get in the way of how we best use our thinking and our thought body. Our perception of self is everything, because it is from a single thought that an emotion is sparked, that wand energy, that fire is sparked, okay? And we will hold that energy and house that energy and keep recreating it. The sacral chakra is our reproductive system. What are we reproducing? Yeah? What are we continually repeating karmically by our very perceptions and beliefs? Thoughts truly do create things, in the words of Mike Dooley. In the past, you're working with the energy of acceptance. You're currently centered in trust and exploring how that feels in new paradigms, perhaps. and you're moving towards honesty. You know what I'm feeling here? To freely speak of self. It's that Mercury retrograde. Like I said, this energy wants to come out. This energy wants to state who I am and what I stand for. I want my creative energy out, you know, my sensuality and my confidence out. After all this introspective retrogrades that have been happening since May, Mercury enters the mix and it's asking us to truly express. We're in Gemini season. It is communicate. And it's, you don't even necessarily have to talk. I get it. You guys do a lot of talking up here to self, and that's wonderful. But if the world asks you who you are and what you stand for, how do you flow your fire out, your life force, the stuff that makes you feel truly grateful, so that your energy just glows with this excitement and confidence, honestly allowing yourself to be who you are, to state who you are, express who you are, and knowing, you know, that despite the fact that others may or may not choose to be honest, we can never truly have regrets about the past and how our perceptions have, because that's how perceptions are formed, yeah? I've got to make decisions that keep me safe because of the past regrets that I have. And this might tie into trust and honesty, betrayal energy. I feel this when it comes to these two together. It's about trust and honesty. To get to trust, we must be honest, yeah? To experience trust, we have to experience honesty or travel through honesty, is what I want to say. But I'm picking up on past vibes here, which have ultimately blocked. I feel this energy is blocked. Your creative energy is blocked. Your creative center is blocked. The possibility of achieving and seeing life truly with the lens of gratitude has been difficult because of this perception. But there's a shift. There's a lot of eclipsing for you this month, Virgo. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. Working with this energy of honesty, it centers us in authenticity, that we cannot help but truly express the truth of who we are within our power, and we are empowered when we do so. How many times do we perceive that we are perhaps not safe, that we can't accept that it's okay to be ourselves because the world has perhaps taught us that in some way or another, that it wasn't safe to trust. Whatever the case may be, Virgo, this is about the relationship you have with yourself. And again, let's go back to that birth canal. This is your rebirth. You are having a rebirth. And a rebirth of your perceptions, okay? This is your third eye opening up. A rebirth in your perceptions, a rebirth in yourself and your creative expression of who that is. No regrets. But not like that tattoo where they spell it wrong. I'm loving your reading. Okay, let's take a look at some tarot. Wow. I've literally said this in all the readings. I don't know why I can't shuffle. It's like everything wants to come out. It's this Gemini energy. The communication just wants to flow. Underneath this is guilt, okay? So the energy of guilt, I didn't talk about this. I release any beliefs that no longer assist my soul's growth. You know, and that doesn't even have to tie into guilt, but any beliefs that resist my soul's growth, Virgo. Anything that fundamentally shapes your perceptions, okay? It is with acceptance that we trust that when we are honest, we can truly be grateful for everything that's ever happened and we have no regrets. Your soul cards just have their own little sentence right there. Five of Pentacles. What does the energy of loss, the energy of regret mean for you? How has the energy of loss, what do you feel you've truly lost? You're in a rebirth. There's a rebirth here. So whatever was lost is not only going to be born again, but experienced again. Perhaps there's been times in the past where you've lost opportunities, you know, to be able to do this for yourself. So there's a massive window for you in many ways. It's a massive eclipse window for all the zodiacs in many ways, and especially where it's smack bang in the middle of retrograde season. Like, even if you don't take the opportunity, all right? Life is cyclical, so too are the stars. These opportunities, when it comes to retrogrades and eclipses, are always present, okay? These same similar themes happen every year or two. So think back a couple of years ago, perhaps you were experiencing something similar, but it didn't quite get to. Name your thing, whether it was a creative endeavor, whether it was a heart endeavor, something that, you know, whether it was to do with the themes of trust and honesty and acceptance, or whatever the case is. There's reoccurring ecliptical themes, there's reoccurring cyclical themes, I should say. And if we don't take the opportunity today, it doesn't mean that we'll never ever have that opportunity again. But here's a massive window, which is what I've been saying to the zodiacs, you know, because I get it, and it's all well and good for an outsider to say, feel the fear and do it anyway. But we travel and grow at our own pace. Seven of Swords, King of Cups, Knight of Cups, Strength, Five of Cups, Two of Pentacles, Justice, the Empress, the Ace of Wands, the Two of Wands, the Six of Cups, the World. You are closing a cycle. The Five of Swords. You are closing a cycle of conflict, internal conflict, of weighing options, of being a certain way, thinking a certain way. You are closing a cycle that perhaps even spans back into childhood. You are closing a cycle when it comes to deep soul bonds, or however that has been experienced in your life. Knowing that there was an opportunity to choose a path. Okay? There's always a choice in life, Virgo. I don't know why I'm holding these cards on the sideways lately. Alright, there's a lot of fire energy here. There's a nice balance. You have no swords. There's Five of Swords underneath the deck. Alright, let's take... Oh, you do have swords. You've got swords, cups, coins, wands. Did I say cups already? Swords, coins, cups, and wands. There's a nice balance of the Vix. Alright. I do see underneath, this is conflict, this is walking away from conflict, this is walking away from conflicting beliefs, experiences, circumstances, living conditions, work conditions, or living a life of conflict. This can be internal, make no mistake. This can be internal. And I see this energy here of the Seven of Swords. Now, traditionally, the Seven of Swords is deceptive energy. And now I want to draw you to this. The honesty card. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. How many of us can truly say that when we're asked, are you okay? That we're literally blatantly honest and say, I'm not, that I need help. You know, that there's that saying, the three hardest words to say are, I need help, I'm sorry, and I love you. How has deception gotten in your way when it comes to truly offering your heart, offering with the Knight of Cups? This is a heartfelt expression. How has being deceptive forced you to close down? How have you made it a normal way in which to not truly speak your truth? This Mercurian energy, like I was saying earlier, like I really focused on that. It's about releasing that energy, speaking openly and freely, knowing that it actually offering your love, offering a heartfelt extension of yourself, and that doesn't have to, it's just that's creative energy too. It's from the heart. This is a release from the heart. The Knight of Cups offers his cup. This is who I am. This is what I want to give you. This is a part of me, take it. You might do that in many different ways, you know. You might do that in a love connection, you might do that in a creative expression, you might put more of yourself in your career or your business endeavors, whatever the case is. You're wanting to be less deceptive or less, don't hold back, you know, because this is like a survival mechanism in many ways. This is taking what I need, or not allowing other people to know what I'm taking here or what I'm holding on to. the Seven of Swords is not being clear, certainly, with what our strategy is. And how can we ever truly know what someone's intentions are unless they actively show it openly? They actively allow themselves to show it. There's trust issues here, for sure, when I see these two together, the Trust card and the Seven of Swords. How have you now got an opportunity in your life to truly eclipse that energy, Virgo, of how much that has influenced your perception of self, your perception of worth, your perception of what you're truly grateful for? Because even deception, even dishonesty, is placed on our path for a reason. Our soul has called in that wisdom lesson to shape us, refine us, grow us. It teaches us to be more intuitive. It teaches us to trust ourselves, to be discerning, which too is also a safety mechanism. But again, why there's only, depending on where we're at, you know, and who we're with, we don't always have to completely offer our cup. There's that saying, the Japanese saying, that we all have three faces, you know. The outside face is who we show the world, the public, and we're comfortable to do that. The second face we show only close family and friends. And it is the face underneath that that we keep for ourselves. How far have you explored those lower two levels of yourself? Have you allowed anyone into that second layer of yourself? You know, these are the themes here when we're offering our cup, when we've got the energy of the Seven of Swords. It is my narcissist card. I do call it my narcissist card. How has that energy, whether it's the energy of abuse, the energy of narcissism, the energy of selfishness, how has it impacted your life to the point that it has closed you down or imprinted on you? Okay? Sometimes we're only doing this because it's a safety mechanism. All right, take a look at it. Take a look at that card. All the images are unique to us all. You know, he's taking only what he needs. You can also interpret this when it comes to this energy of not having any regrets. Take only what you need. Don't deceive yourself when it comes to feeling like you have to take everything when it comes to your lessons and wisdoms of the past. Take only what you need, Virgo, to get you to where you're going as well. Let's not deceive ourselves about how much we truly have to carry when it comes to these energies. You know, when it comes to acceptance and integrating trust and releasing regret, we take only what we need. You know, with an open heart, we can then hope that we can try again. All right? This is about emotional equilibrium for you and emotional empowerment. The King of Cups, you know, he's the king of his suit. He's the king of emotions. All right? What does emotional mastery mean for you? How much do you disconnect and how much are you dishonest about emotional mastery and what that can do for you when it comes to your thoughts? You're very comfortable in the thought body. How comfortable are you in your emotions? Yeah, how comfortable are you expressing your emotions? I know you're not, because you're very comfortable with the sword energy, with the mental realms. But this is about coming into balance. So in order to update this, perhaps, Virgo, update this perception, update your third eye, there's an invitation here to stop being strategic when it comes to your emotions. Little behaviors, the big behaviors, the reluctancies, the ways in which we close our emotions down as an avoidance mechanism, as a safety mechanism, which is deceptive to self, which is deceptive to others when we're not freely expressing our emotions. When that energy wants to come out, what do we do? What substances are we using? What techniques and behaviors and activities are we doing to repress that emotional body as a strategy to keep us safe? Yeah? The invitation here is, in order to expand perception, and in order to truly expand your perception so that you can look at your past, your present, and your future with a whole new set of eyes, with a whole new third eye and have no regrets because everything led you to here, to get to that true point of open-hearted gratitude. Perhaps we need to take a deep dive into the emotional body this month in June and really eclipse everything that you've ever learned when it comes to the Sagittarius energy and Cancer energy. That's a big one. How have you allowed yourself with that Jupiter, that Sagittarian energy, to expand and grow and feel abundant? Full moon in Sagittarius. When it comes to the solar eclipse in Cancer, when it comes to nurture, feeling mothered, mothering ourselves, allowing ourselves to be nurtured and grown in a healthy way when it comes to our emotions. How have you mothered your emotions? How have you nurtured your emotions? How have you allowed the ways in which you hold that emotional body to be grown in a healthy way or not? That's a big one. But there's a massive opportunity here. You love the energy of the mind, and it's almost like you want to keep pushing yourself within it. And the way in which to do that this month, Virgo, is through the emotional body. Okay? And it's going to take some courage. Thanks to the Strength card. This is Leo energy, okay? So whether last August is significant to you, whether this August is significant to you as time markers and time frames, maybe your birthday is in August, Virgo, okay? For the early Virgoans, it's going to take some courage to achieve this. But it's not that it can't be done. To you, on the surface of that thought concept, I'm talking to Virgos that have been working with this energy for probably a little while now. Probably as far back as last December, when we link themes, okay, because of the ecliptical cycle. Now, it's going to take some courage, and perhaps if I have only just mentioned this to you as a fresh thought, hey Virgo, in order to really expand that power of the amazing mind you have, you're going to have to dip into your emotional body. You would have went, that's ridiculous. No, I can't see myself doing that. I've always had my little vices and ways in which I deal with my emotions. Don't really talk about emotions. It would have looked like a ridiculous task. And in the traditional tarot deck, the Strength card is a woman prying open the mouth of a lion. Like, who the goodness hell does that, right? That's the Virgos I'm talking to going, no, Ali, we're in our mind. That's just where we're at and we're comfortable there. But you're going to be exploring these things in many ways. And it's going to look like it's a ridiculously difficult feat, but you will surprise yourself at the way in which you can gracefully do this and achieve this massive feat wherever you are on your journey. It's about truly having no regrets, okay? Walking away from whatever you think was emotionally lost. You can go as far back as childhood. You can go as far back as whatever you want. This is a karmic balancing here, guys. There's a karmic balancing here. It's about seeing that everything has led you to everything that has happened has led you to where you are here and now in order to truly integrate this upgrade. It is an upgrade. It is an upgrade to your mental faculties. It is an upgrade to your perceptions, everything across the timeline. This is a karmic resetting. Okay, and if I'm working with that sacral chakra energy, that reproduction energy, if nothing truly changes at the core level, then nothing truly changes. I will continue to regenerate those cells, those beliefs, that energy, and I will continue to make manifest those same experiences in one way or another. Yeah, think of cell regeneration, think of science, think of reproduction. It's about truly letting go of the losses that have been experienced and no more juggling, because look at this. This is like a business transaction. In order to get this, like, you literally would probably pay me a crap load of money to just upgrade this rather than have to go through the hard way, yeah? You would pay me to say, okay, now it's done, Virgo. Because it feels raw. It feels scary when we start to work with our emotional body And maybe this is something that you felt like you've already done, but there's like this other little layer. I don't know, there's another little layer, Virgo. There's another layer here that is going to be eclipsing, and maybe this has been happening in subconscious levels for a while now. But you are going to be noticing the bravery you have embarked on. If this story has spanned a while, you will notice the bravery you have been on, okay? That has helped you do this, where you're not juggling anymore these two versions of yourself, this version that you keep to yourself, this face you put on for the world. And this is the case for all of us. But Virgos are the ones we go to for order, clarification, that structured knowing, and they just are on point with, they're reliable, you know? But in your heart and in your head, you probably don't feel that about yourself, and how you are to us is different to how you are to self, Virgo, yeah? It's human nature, we're all like that in many ways, but this is an invitation to no more juggling, no more investing, because I'm putting energy into thoughts, I'm putting energy into choices, I'm putting energy into relationships. There's an investment I'm making every day through every choice. There's no more investing in old ways that ultimately are fueled by the regret, okay, of the past, is what I was about to say. You're closing a chapter. There's a karmic balancing here. You have the world as well as justice. No more juggling the potential. You've felt the potential, you've known the potential, you've perhaps even strategically left behind something in the past when it comes to your thoughts about what emotions are meant to be, because they never were a positive experience or fulfilled you in a way, you know. There was a need to not really connect into the emotional body, Virgo. You know, it's a self-preservation technique even. But no more juggling, because I was going to say, you pick up this two. See that? The Two of Coins, look. I know they're two different, but look, the two that he dropped and then just left, okay? This is conflict. The number of conflict, those Five of Swords is the number of conflict, which is underneath your deck. 5 is conflict within self, within our environment. Okay, the Five of Swords is conflict. And at some point, you strategically had to drop 2 of these swords, but you are now find yourself in the timeline where you're picking 2 up. I know they're not swords, but you're picking something up again that you perhaps have dropped a long time ago. It could be a belief, a hope, a dream, an idea. When it comes to the emotional body, when it comes to love, when it comes to your emotions and how you allow yourself to experience them, Virgo, this is relevant because you've been conflicted when it comes to your emotions, or how safe it was to trust, because perhaps in the past honesty was a factor that led you to regret. Okay? The Justice, the Empress, and the Ace of Wands. The 3rd week of June doesn't get any better than this. The Justice card, Virgo, is karmic balancing. This is a reset, a timeline reset. It is an opportunity to truly manifest everything you've ever wanted when it comes to these themes that are coming up for you. The Empress is all of the queens that have come before her. Whether you are male or female, she embodies a balanced state of all suits, okay? She is emotionally balanced. She is mentally balanced and powerful. She is physically abundant and able. She's energetically and creatively abundant and balanced. She is wands, cups, coins, and swords, all balanced. She is manifestation energy. And it is within that balance she can manifest. Perhaps that is the missing ingredient, Virgo, because you have known this on a mind level. You have known what true growth would require of you, that true ascension, that next level, that to really connect into that vision and version of yourself that you're seeing when it comes to your future timelines. You can see it. You know it. But have you allowed yourself to feel it? And in order to feel it, in order to work with manifestation energy, to manifest and draw forward that reality you've always held high in your dreams and known and really seen yourself doing, whatever, name it, okay? The ideal life, the ideal relationship, the ideal career, whatever. You've seen it up here. You know it up here. You've got everything you need from this level. Your thought body has always been strong. But what about the other areas? Because the Empress embodies all energies very balanced and wholesomely. In order to shift this perception and to engage what you see on the mind level, you must explore the emotional body to activate that passion energy, that creative energy of the wands. So you must go through the cups. The cups were here first. From thoughts, from the swords, to the cups. Will start to change your reality. With the coins here, will start to change your emotions when it comes to the energy of loss. I just can't solidify into an English sentence at the minute. Not that I'm about to bust out in other language, but I hope you understand what I'm saying here. You are dropping karmic patterning when it comes to inability to manifest what you have known on a thought level. And you need to deep dive into the emotional body, connect with your emotions, allow your emotions to be, I'm not even going to say, hey Virgo, you're going to need to spend the month on the couch crying your eyes out. It's not that energy I'm picking up on. It is about when you have comfortably allowed yourself to say, how do I think about this? What do I think about this? This month is about how do you feel? I know how you think. We know how you think. We don't want to know how you think or what your thoughts are. We want to know how you feel. Connect into that, and only then are you going to be able to connect in with this creative energy. Look, it readdresses, re-gifts you with a divine spark. This is the wands. This is creative fire. This is the birth of something new. This is that healthy sacral chakra. Look at it. I can see a pattern here. Wow. The Ace of Wands is the divine spark. It is that creative essence of transformation that exists within us. Whether you have been pregnant or not, Virgo, we all are from that divine spark, okay? From the minute of conception, from the minute of union. Remember what I said earlier about the ecliptical cycle and the Cancer, Capricorn ecliptical cycle, masculine and feminine energies. When we're merging our shadow and our light, our old versus new, whatever the case may be, when that union happens is no different to conception, and there's a potential there for a third energy to be born, yeah? Whether we've been pregnant or not, the truth of who we are is that massive energy spark that happens before the formation and reproduction of the zygote, yeah? The zygote, the cell forms, and then it's multiplying and multiplying, and that's how growth happens. But there's a spark of energy. And it's this life force that announces the start of life. And it also announces the end of life. It happens in death. This is how stars and supernovas are born and die. It is the only truth of life. You know, change is the truth of life. Death and rebirth is the truth of life. And this creative force that exists in all things exists in you, Virgo. So to say that I can't change my thoughts, I can't change my feelings, I can't change my belief is almost absolute BS, because you can transform. You grew yourself. You are transformation energy. You are that spark of life that is almost magic and is unable to be comprehended on the mind level. Science hasn't done it. Medicine hasn't done it. We could potentially call it God or universal energy. What is creative spark of life force? What is that? Because it starts all of life. I'm sure religion's got a label for it. I'm sure science might have some sort of a label for it. But what is it truly? It is incomprehensible to our very limited human consciousness. It must be felt, experienced, known, yeah? And our emotions must be felt. Our greatest potential can be felt. when we experience all elements of self, Virgo. Look at this though. I want to, so like I said, in order to shift your perceptions, it's going to expand your consciousness and take you to that next level of yourself. You've always known yourself to be this thing. Name your thing, fill in the blanks. You've always seen that future version of yourself, seen that ideal way to live, love, be, whatever the case may be. You've known it from the mind level, but you continually came up against blocks perhaps. This might come down to trust. This might come down to honesty and the energy of regrets. I'm picking up on past experiences here when it comes to loss. Your experience of your emotional body perhaps has been a sense of loss, has pushed you outside of your courage zones too. But look, there's a pattern here. It starts in the mind, the swords, with your thoughts. You can truly connect in to your emotional equilibrium, emotional empowerment, to offer, to know what emotions you are offering yourself and others, okay? Your thoughts, your emotions. You will begin to see how that makes manifest in the physical layer. You'll notice a change in how you feel on the outside, how you look, how your energy presents. You will notice where life starts to manifest back. Come here, guys. You will notice, how life starts to make manifest back to you, all that you're thinking, feeling. When you truly master your emotions, when you're courageous, okay, with a lion heart, with bravery, you will be able to achieve feats that were once perhaps unheard of in many ways. It drops the karmic line. It drops a karmic truth that has existed within you for a very long time. It sparks this divine essence. So call that whatever you want. That is re-emergence of passion, sensuality, confidence, creativity, transformation, so that you embody everything that you already are and perhaps have been for a very long time, but you have repressed or perhaps left behind a long time ago or a little while ago as a survival mechanism. Oh, Virgo, getting goosebumps. Dun, dun, dun. I love how whenever I'm doing readings for you guys, for any of the zodiacs, like there's a distinct personality themes that I'm feeling, because we're speaking about feelings. I'm picking up on the certain personalities. I can tell where your energy's at. Karmically, you are dropping truths, lines, repetitive ways in which you kept repeating karma or experiencing karma. That is a truth that you are eclipsing this month and have the highest potential to achieve this month. There is a whole new world opening up to you, Virgo. And you are ending an old world, yes. The last 6 months are crucial in many ways, because with this ecliptical cycle, it takes us back to the same eclipses we're experiencing in December. The last 6 months have been crucial for this story and the finalization of this leveling up. The world is your oyster here. You will genuinely feel a soul bond when it comes to your path. A soul bond to the people that are in your life, have been in your life for a reason. You will see the connection of your past to where you are, to your future. You will even perhaps connect in to those that feel like past life connections. You will connect in to what feels like past life truths and truly see the opportunity ahead of you, that you really can continue in the same old way if you want, or in a whole new way. The path is up to you, but this is optimism energy, knowing that I'm completely empowered to make a choice, not just today, but every day. In every moment, with every breath in, what am I breathing in? You know, we consume more than just food and drink. I said this in another zodiac reading. We are consuming energy in every single moment. Scientifically, our cells are always reproducing. You know, doctors tell us that 90% of stress, 90% of illnesses are caused by stress. Where does stress come from? It comes from the thoughts. It also comes from our emotions. Get to know both really well. You're very good at the thoughts. Get to know both really well, and you know how they work in harmony then. We understand what causes stress uniquely for us and what doesn't, and what we would choose wholesomely. This is congeniality when the Six of Cups. You know, life just feels good. I'm feeling good. I'm around connections that make me feel good. I feel like I'm at home. This is deep soul bonds. This is feeling optimistic for the path ahead and the connections that are in my life and the opportunities in my life. It definitely doesn't feel like regret energy. It feels like I can just center myself in trust, Virgo. Okay? That I can center myself in the energy of trust. And when I really do, when I really connect into that, it feels so much like freedom. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. This is your inner voice. This is your intuition, your third eye. You have been following your intuition. And we have to drop out of our head, connect into our emotions in a healthy way, because one can be imbalanced. You know, they both can be imbalanced in many ways. As empaths and sensitives, intuitives, we naturally gravitate towards a way in which to experience ourselves. So some of us are completely connected to the emotional body, i.e. we are healers. We empathically feel everyone's emotions. Others of us are really drawn to the thought body and perception and consciousness and the ability to expand consciousness and thought forms. And we're really drawn to those things in which that expands our mind. And again, others are really drawn to the energy body. It's a sensory experience, it's a psychic experience, and the all of the clairs, really it's the knowing and sensory experience of ourselves and our world. Those three levels of being naturally impact the physical layer of being and are all connected to the soul. These are the 5 levels of being. I don't know if I mentioned it at the start of the video. If you're a first-time watcher, I talk about these levels of being in my healing work all of the time. You know, this modern-day world has forced us to concentrate only on the physical, what is seen, what is experienced, what can be held, how much money do you make, what does success look like to you? What do I look like on the outside, and is that acceptable? The physical layer is a very big focus of our very 3D world, yeah? And in mainstream therapy, we're aware of the cognitive level, we're aware of the thought body, we're also aware of the emotional body, but traditionally in our society, we're taught to repress it. These are the 3 main levels of being when it comes to our lower chakras. You don't see much information when it comes to the energy body, when it comes to mainstream health and wellness. It's considered holistic, alternative, and metaphysical even. And you certainly don't see much about soul stuff as well. But if we were to say that we were 5 levels of being, and I take only what resonates, Virgo, this is how I find that I achieve equilibrium within self, how I accept that we are multi-dimensional beings. We are more than just our physical layer. We are an emotional layer, we are a thought layer, an energy layer, and we are a soul. And how those work in harmony can help us truly meet us at our greatest potential. If I think that's all I am, then that's very small compared to what I could totally be. And if I'm very good with my emotions but terrible with my thought body, then what can I focus on to balance that out? Yeah? This is an invitation to get out of your thought body for a little bit. Forget about the logic, forget about the left brain, forget about, in order to really activate the right brain, which there's 2 parts of your mind too, you know, there's 2 levels. There's 2 halves, I should say. In order to get them into balance, which is masculine and feminine, left and right brain logic, to activate creativity, we must experience the emotions. We must experience the emotional body. To have heart and mind align is a big part of the journey. And then we understand energy, and then we understand soul. And then we understand manifestation, because then it all arrives down in the physical. The physical changes. We experience transformation. We perhaps look different. We perhaps are experiencing a different reality. Life starts to reflect back to us the truth of the upgrades of those other levels, yeah? Could talk all day, clearly. It's a time to move away and surrender from conflict. It's so that we can truly ascend and see ourselves in a whole new way, see our path, potential, our history in a whole new way, that we are no longer bound by it. So that we can, you've got a lot of cups energy, you've got a lot of emotions on the table here. This is a creative expression, this is an apology. This is offering our cup. It's a smaller version of the Knight of Cups that you had earlier. But when the Page of Cups show up, it's a heartfelt expression. Maybe you need to apologize to yourself. Maybe you need to apologize to another. Maybe someone's apologizing to you. But in many ways, Virgo, we have to apologize to ourselves. Like once we come across an awareness or a realization, God, why did I spend all this time doing it X, Y, Z? You know, I should have done it this way. That's perhaps where we can apologize to ourselves. You know, when we know something new, when we know better, we do better. And perhaps that's where we get stuck in this energy of regret when it comes to our past, when it comes to issues of betrayal, whatever the case may be. What if what was done to us was because that's what was known? And that's all that was known. Okay? And maybe not, all right? It's really, sometimes we have to accept acceptance. This is where you're coming from. That everything happened exactly as it needed to shape us into who we are, to get us to where we're at today, so that we can experience something tangible, a new beginning. We experience a nugget of wisdom, an opportunity to start again, to build something tangible when it comes to the new path I'm committing to, the new belief system I'm committing to, Virgo. And when we embrace the Queen of Swords energy, you know, yeah, powerhouse. This is your energy in every way because it rules the mental realms, even though you are an earth energy. She's been through a lot. She knows exactly what her boundaries are, and she does not put up with BS. She does not have to be cold, cruel, but she can say no with a full heart and knowing that is what's right for her. She does not engage in conflict. She does not allow conflict in to affect her mind or her emotions, because she can identify where she needs to put a boundary down straight away. Wow, King of Swords. There's a balance of the divine feminine and masculine here. Look at this energy. This could be even a divine counterpart. How do we feel truly grateful and open to trust and have no regrets when it comes to this merging of the two parts of our mind? Two people, you know? Take that however you wish. This is that masculine energy, masculine and feminine energy I was talking about earlier. It's also a divine counterpart. There's a beautiful gift here that is on offer to you this month, Virgo, to truly shift your perception, to truly merge, to truly drop an old karmic timeline when it comes to trust, when it comes to truly feeling grateful, when it comes to the freedom you will feel when you connect into your emotional body so that energy can just flow, and how that actually benefits all areas of your life, to bring everything into balance, to look at this, the third week is the most important. It is about dropping karmic lines, the ways in which you've always done things, to truly experience creative abundance and step into this Empress energy, male or female, to really activate this Ace of Wands energy. That's huge. This is a divine gift. Okay? I could keep going. There's been a spiritual healing here, and a learning of higher spiritual wisdoms, a connection of higher spiritual wisdoms. Wow, Two of Cups, that's beautiful. Look at this. Divine counterpart, Two of Cups. A connection of higher principles when it comes to the higher chakras, spiritual principles, marriage, a spiritual marriage, a spiritual union, and a healing of the timelines. When we're dropping karmic timelines, there's a spiritual healing taking place. But there's, you know, marriage, that energy of marriage is the unification within us too. And when that happens within, it happens without. All right? I need to wrap this up. I obviously the readings today have been so amazing. Amazing, Virgo. I hope this message has resonated for you. as you can see, there's a beautiful opportunity to truly upgrade what it is that you already know when it comes to the power of your thoughts and how you can actually engage in the other realms of you, your emotional realms, your energetic realms, that will truly activate and balance out all aspects and dimensions within yourself. Not only does it change your reality, your physical reality, the way you physically feel about yourself, physically look even, your emotional, the way in which you experience your emotions and express your emotions begin to change. So too do your thoughts, so too does your energy body. Okay? Take that however it resonates for you. This month, connect into the energy of authenticity. Okay? Honesty is a huge thing. How many of us can say we truly know what that freedom feels like when we can honestly express our truth, our boundaries, and we can say that I'm vibrating to the energy of authenticity. Okay? It's a beautiful, beautiful month, Virgo. Trust. Alright, lots of love. I'll see you guys for your fortnightly readings soon. Thank you for watching. Namaste.